Good evening and welcome to another World of Warships video with Darkwing Glacier. In this battle I take out one of my favorite ships, the premium tier 5 Japanese destroyer, the Kamikaze. Now this ship has tended to treat me pretty well. It has excellent torpedoes, it has good concealment, it has mediocre guns which are good for your last chance at defense if enemy ships get too close. They're also good at finishing off ships that have already taken a lot of damage. They have a decent fire chance. The torpedoes, however, are definitely its primary weapon. They have an extremely fast reload. The Kamikaze is a relatively small destroyer. It's very agile, so it can dodge incoming fire very well. And at these tiers, tier 5, battleships for the most part have not quite yet learned that they need to stop sailing in straight lines all the time. So it's a target-rich environment for this kind of ship. So I spot an enemy Phoenix coming up close and I begin to angle away. This is a standard battle, so I can't exactly cap anything. And it is also bad in the sense that there are 2 enemy carriers on the other team, and those are always something that is bad for destroyers because of the constant spotting that you'll have to undergo. So hopefully my carriers will keep their fighters off me and allow me to hunt unmolested. So I start heading towards this Phoenix, trying to line up, but it looks like he's going to be passing behind the island, and then I spot a Gnevny, and he is coming right at me. He is going to get in my detection. So I launch essentially some panic torpedoes directly at him in the hopes that he may just run into them, and I begin turning away and starting to run away. He's already beginning to fire at me, and a Gnevny can definitely outgun a Kamikaze, so I'm in deep trouble at this point. But fortunately, he plows in not into 1, but into 2 torpedoes, and I'm able to get the kill right off the bat. So if he was able to avoid those torpedoes, he could have gunned me down without any problems, and I would have had to pop smoke at the very least to get away from that. So that's a fortuitous start to this battle. So my torpedoes have already reloaded, and it's time to start picking out my next target. We have 2 enemy battleships, a Congo and a Miyogi. And I begin heading in their direction. There are some enemy fighters coming this way as well, and I have a Danai along with me who is probably going to draw most of the fire from the destroyers. From the battleships, because they haven't quite detected me yet. My own carrier is launching an airstrike apparently at the Congo, and I prepare to follow up that strike with some torpedoes of my own. But then I decide that the enemy fighters are likely to pick them off, so I'm going to go after the Miyogi instead. Looks like our other Kamikaze on our team got rammed by an enemy ship and is lost. And he didn't even manage to take out the guy who rammed him. So my torpedoes are well on their way towards the Miyogi, and I'm already spotting out another target, a Nicholas. I begin slowing down, hoping that he's not going to detect me, but unfortunately I do run into his detection range. Fortunately, he appears to be looking at somebody else and not me, so for the moment I'm able to survive. So the enemy loses another ship, a Phoenix, to our Kaiser, so we're up 2 ships to 1. Looks like the Miyogi successfully dodged all of my torpedoes, so I line up for another shot, this one at 4.6 kilometers, and there's probably a good chance he's not going to be able to dodge these. There do not appear to be any planes between me and him, so these torpedoes are going to go right into him without any warning at all.
All stations, concentrate fire on that target.
Now at this point I'm in the enemy cap, and so at the very least I'm not going to be able to capture it, of course, but I am going to slow down their points a little bit. So I get 4 torpedo hits, 3 floods, and the Miyogi is almost dead. So I begin opening up with my guns, and it looks like he is flooding, and there he goes. So that's kill number 2. So I noticed that the Nicholas is very low on health at this point, and it looks like he's on fire. And I'm turning away. There's only 1 shell, so I'll just take a simple shot at him from 6.5 kilometers, and just maybe I can get the kill. And what do you know? The 1 shell lands on him and is enough to kill him, and that's kill number 3. That was a kill steal, I have to admit, but it was still pretty satisfying. So I take some shots at the Congo, who's already turning out of the way, so these torpedoes are probably going to miss. I'm being detected by the enemy carrier, and I take a big hit there from the Koenig over there. So I pop some smoke, but it's probably closing the barn door after the horse has already fled. And it looks like I'm going to ram into one of my own ships here. And yeah, which is kind of my fault. I get knocked over almost on my side for that. But I'm no longer detected. So I'm already lining up for another torpedo shot on the Congo. And since he's the most viable target at this point, I just fire, hoping that he may just blunder into them. I'm already turning turning away from the shot, hoping he's not going to pick on me, but he's not. He's going after our friendly Miyogi instead. So that's another one of the things about playing destroyers at this tier, is that not all players realize that destroyers really need to be primary targets. They end up going at the one that they think they're going to be able to damage the most, rather than hoping to get that shot that finishes off the destroyer and gets rid of that big threat. So it looks like all my torpedoes miss, but the Congo is severely damaged at this point. There are some torpedoes coming in from the enemy carrier. Looks like the Miyogi successfully dodges them. Battle still is pretty close. Now we have 5 kills to their 3, so we're ahead. So the Congo's down, but there is a Koenig there and another cruiser. They just lose another ship. They're down to, they lose a Wyoming, so we've pulled way ahead in the lead. And our ships to the south essentially have no targets left. So there's the Koenig, and he's sailing in a straight line like battleships at this tier are wont to do. So I send some torpedoes to him, but I've lost one of my torpedo launchers due to damage, so I can only send 4 at him. And I start to angle around to see if I can get another shot at him. I take some more damage from the enemy Karlsruhe. And there's also a V-170 in there. The Miyogi takes the hit. My torpedoes land. I get 3 hits, 3 floods. And looks like the Koenig immediately turns on his repair party. So I have an Kamikaze behind me who's closing in. There are torpedoes all over the place. Things got pretty busy here all of a sudden. The Koenig is now fleeing, so I'm not going to be able to launch any torpedoes at him. So I launched some torpedoes at the Kamikaze. We lose our Miyogi. And my torpedoes at the Kamikaze were kind of a risk because I shot them behind 2 of my own ships, but I figured that, they're not going to go the same way. So they're not going to suddenly turn around, so there's no danger that they're going to be hit. I take some shots at the Koenig, and I get another kill steal. Well, I did do a lot of damage to him, but I finished this guy off, and that is kill number 4. So my torpedoes look like they have gone ahead of the Kamikaze. So I line up my guns, realizing I'm a tier 5, he's a tier 4. My guns are better than his, although not much. And I'm just going to start shooting at him, despite the fact that he has a lot more health than I do. I launch a barrage of torpedoes at the Karlsruhe, who is low on health. I decide maybe I can set him on fire again. He is low on health, and someone else took the kill for me. Some torpedoes going in our Congo, who's taking some damage. Now the Kamikaze is coming directly at me. I don't know what he's thinking. So I damage him. He takes some damage from our carrier as well. So he's lower on health than I am now. I could probably just gun him down. Another shot brings him down to 4 health, and he was on fire. And that's kill number 5. That's my Kraken Unleashed. And all of a sudden the enemy team only has 2 ships left. 2 carriers. Now, there is a Congo closer to the carrier than I am. And I imagine he is going to be the primary target because carriers tend, especially at this level, tend to think that they can take out battleships faster than they can take out destroyers. And it turns out they don't even have to, because the Congo is taken out by a torpedo hit from the Kamikaze before he died, and he finally flooded. So now I can just close in on these guys. There's really nothing they can do to stop me. And it's really a race for my team just to see who can get these kills first. So I launch a spread of torpedoes at the Bogue, and I begin lining up on the Zuiho, and I open fire with my guns upon him. Set him on fire with the first barrage, which is good. Here come the torpedoes from the carrier. But amazingly, he flies directly past me, doesn't even attempt to drop, and it looks like he's going after the friendly ship. So my torpedoes begin to impact on the Bogue. 3 hits, 3 floods, destroyed, a high caliber, and another devastating strike. That is kill number 6. So the Zuiho does in fact torpedo the Denai and kills him, but I'm going to torpedo him myself. This guy doesn't really stand a chance against me at this point. He's recovering his planes. He has no way to stop me. The secondaries just took out my steering, but they're not going to kill me. First, 1 torpedo misses, then 2 more hit, and that's kill number 7. So, one of my best games in the Kamikaze, and that was a lot of fun. 150,000 damage, 7 kills, come in first place, almost 500,000 credits. Damaged a lot of ships in this game. The Kamikaze is a lot of fun to play. Thanks for watching.